Hey, so today's book review is gonna be on Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. Now, this book took me a while to read. I admit it's kind of an old book. It was published, I think, in the late 90s. And I remember seeing it. It was pretty popular, but I never picked it up. I don't know why until I borrowed it from my roommate. She let me borrow it. It's her copy. And she said that she thinks I would like it. So I went ahead and read it and I loved it. So the story is Mitch. Mitch. Yeah, it actually took me a while to connect the dots with that. He starts off as a student and he's graduating, and Morrie is one of his professors. And he says that he'll keep in touch, but life happens. Sometimes you just don't think about it. You lose track of time. You don't mean to lose touch with people, but sometimes it's just how it works out. So years later, he actually sees Morrie on TV. And he's there because he is diagnosed with ALS. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with it kind of eats up your nerves. Like Morrie in this story, he becomes less and less independent. After a while, he can't walk anymore after using a cane, and things get harder for him to hold, things like that. So you get progressively worse as the disease goes on. So with ALS, I don't know how many of you guys remember, how many of you guys did this, but there was an ice bucket challenge to kind of raise awareness for it. And I did it. I was asked to join in on this, and this is actually my video of me doing it. The quality isn't that great because it was so long ago, but I feel like my dad and stepmom, who helped me put it together, got a little too much enjoyment out of it, especially my dad, who was the one that actually dunked me. Take a look. This was the challenge. Okay, so I got this challenge from my cousin Leslie, and now I'm continuing it.
This is 2 pounds of ice and lots of cold water. So this is really going to be a good dunking. Ready or not? Well, the Giants won.
Yeah.
We were there, by the way. Okay, Kelly.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he enjoyed it a little too much. But anyway, and so he's on TV because he wants to kind of teach people about it. And so Mitch is watching this and he gets a hold of him and he goes and visits him. And once he does, it's like no time goes by. Morrie is so excited to see him. He understands things happen and he asks Mitch to continue to come and visit him every Tuesday. And so when he does, he still learns from Morrie. He realizes he's kind of like his professor still. They talk about every aspect of life, marriage, family, just everything. And Mitch is realizing with Morrie's condition, he's starting to pay attention to the little things. He's starting to appreciate the little things, like looking out the window and watching, the wind blow the leaves and stuff like that. So it gives you a different perspective on life while reading it, that, it's so fast and you don't really notice things like that. And it kind of makes you stop and think to really pay attention. That was kind of my takeaway from it. And I feel like through the book, more than anything, you see this really strong friendship. I mean, here is a guy that is a lot younger than his professor, and he's helping him with little things. Like Morrie is literally deteriorating in front of him, and he's helping him, without question. If his nurse isn't around or his wife isn't around to help him, Mitch steps in and does it while they're talking. And so just the whole book, it's just so sweet And yeah, sad because what Morrie is going through. You can't help but look up to him because of his outlook on everything. So if you guys were like me and haven't read it yet, I highly recommend picking it up. There's another book that he wrote after, which I'm reading now, so that review will come when I'm done with this one. But it's so good. It's not a typical book that I usually read. You'll see a lot of like Stephen King coming later, but this was just something that she thought I would like, and it just hit right on. I was so glad I finally read it. So I advise anyone who wants a good kind of heartwarming book to read, this is the one. And I heard that there is a movie, so I may have to watch the movie too because the book just wasn't enough. Now I want to kind of compare. I love doing that. I love reading the book and then watching the movie and seeing the comparison, what they changed, what they didn't. Of course, a book is always better, but I still want to watch it. So pick it up if you haven't yet. I recommend this one. Bye.